Okay, welcome everybody. Like I said, my name is Brent Wilson. I am the State Director of Referee Development for NRDP. This is the second session for the NRDP Winter Development Series. Tonight's topics are going to be advantage and free kick management. Thank you everybody for hopping on. I know some more people are probably going to be joining us, but we're going to go ahead and get rolling so we can keep this thing on time. Please stay muted tonight. Whenever you're not speaking, we are going to ask some folks to participate a little bit tonight. Not sure exactly how that's going to work because we are on a fairly tight timeline, so we want to keep things moving. Yeah, hopefully we can get some participation, either volunteers hopping in to participate, or maybe we'll just pick on some people and call folks. We'll see how that goes. At that point, if we do call on you, you'll be able to unmute either Jim McVeigh, who's monitoring this from the admin side. He can unmute you, or depending on the settings, you may be able to unmute yourself. But I guess we'll figure that out when we get to the first participant. So we're going to cover three things tonight. First of all, just an introduction and some quick announcements. And then we're going to talk about advantage, what it is, when to use it, how to use it. Just a real quick overview. It's not a full in-depth analysis of advantage or anything. And then we're going to talk about free kick management. And again, we're not getting into all of the details of free kick management, both advantage and free kick management. We could talk about for hours if we wanted to, and we're going to give them, maybe 25 minutes each tonight. So, not all encompassing, but hopefully it's helpful for you folks as you work your matches out there on the field. Hopefully by the end of tonight, you will understand some of the core concepts of advantage, and you'll be able to apply that understanding to some videos of match situations that we're going to show you. Hopefully you will know how to use basic factors to consider, hopefully you will be aware of some basic factors to consider when managing free kicks, and you'll be able to apply those factors to videos of match situations. And let's go right over here. So some quick announcements while we get going. First of all, we've got some new news from the board of directors for NRDP. We have some new members on the board. Dave Hughes, Rick Sedrell, and Rhonda Tomzak have all joined the board as general members. And in addition, at our most recent meeting that we had last week, I believe it was, we got rid of the roles of State Director of Assessment and State Director of Instruction, and we merged those two roles into the Director of Referee Development. So that is now my title. I'm no longer SDA, SDI. I'm now Director of Referee Development. So just, you'll start hearing that term going forward. I just want to let everybody know what that is. The Winter Development Series, we've got 4 sessions scheduled. We already had one on December 17th. Tonight, obviously, is December 15th. Upcoming, make sure you have it on your calendar. We'll have more sessions on January 19th and February 16th. Also put on your calendar the 2023 referee seminar, which will be January 27th and 28th. Most folks, you only need to put the 28th on your calendar. The 27th will be kind of an invitation thing for the highest level referees. But if you think you should be part of that group, be sure and let us know. We want folks to be able to participate. Our guest speaker this year is going to be Kim Oberly. I hope I pronounced her name right. She's a former FIFA AR. She's a U.S. Soccer national referee coach, and she is on the board that helps determine who becomes a national referee in the United States. She's really wonderful. She'll have a lot of really cool things to share with us. And in addition to that, we'll have a bunch of other sessions for everybody to participate in. And kind of a little side note, we're also going to do a session for coaches that will be kind of parallel to the referee seminar. So they'll get a couple hours of information from us about the laws of the game and some other topics. And they'll also get a chance to see all of you guys participating in the seminar and see how hard you guys work and how eager you are to learn. Let's see, what do we got next? Next, I have a request for everybody. I was contacted by this gentleman, Stuart Carrington. He's over in England. He's working on his PhD, and he's got a survey that he would like us to fill out. If we get a certain number of folks to fill out this survey, then he has offered to give us a presentation, and he will waive his normal fee that he charges for his presentations. And so I would hope to do that maybe sometime in the spring if we can get him on the calendar. I am going to put the link in the chat right now. If you are interested, please participate in that. Those of you who have been through academic research situations, you'll recognize a lot of the verbiage that's on the introductory pages there. It is a fairly involved survey. It will take you a good 15 to 20 minutes. And it is kind of on some psychological aspects of your personality. So give it a look. If you are comfortable, please fill that out and submit it. And that would be really helpful, like I said, because it would give us the opportunity to have Mr. Carrington possibly present to us in the future. One last announcement here. We do have some videos that we are going to watch tonight. And because Zoom is not always great for streaming videos, we've made the video links available to you folks. You should have the link in your email. I also put the link in the chat. It's at the very top of the chat. So if you would like to watch the videos on your local computer rather than trusting Zoom streaming, you can do that. And that will also give you the option, then if you want to Zoom forward and back and all of that on your own, you'll be able to control that. And if you don't have access to that, or you just want to watch through Zoom, that's fine. Might be a little bit choppy for you, but hopefully you'll be able to, get a feel for what's going on in each of the videos. In addition to that, there's a document in there, a PDF, that just lists the videos in the order that I will be talking about them during this presentation. That may be useful to you. We definitely will not have time to go through all of them. And there is also a document in there that Jim McVeigh put together. It's restarts after fouls and misconduct. So basically for any kind of foul and misconduct committed by the attacking team, the defending team, a coach, a spectator, well, spectators can't commit fouls or misconduct, a substitute, the different ways that play may restart. It's a very handy resource, so check that out. I will note that these videos, many of these videos anyway, have specific usage licenses applied to them. They are not free to download, and so I cannot make them free to download, and I can't keep them online forever. So that Dropbox link will expire tomorrow. If you have some reason that you would like to review the videos, after tonight, after tomorrow, and you want to still have access to them, contact me separately, and we'll see what we can do about that. But again, I do not have permissions to just make these videos available to everybody, and I definitely don't have access to allow them to be downloaded. So we're trying to stay on the up and up with that. Okay, so let's hop right into Advantage. I know that was all a whirlwind. If you do have comments or questions or anything as we go along, feel free to put them in the chat, and Jim McVeigh is monitoring that, and I'm also attempting to monitor it. I've got multiple screens up here, but I may not be able to follow it super closely. But feel free to ask any questions in there, or drop me an email at brent.wilson@nrdp.soccer if it's something that doesn't need to be answered tonight. Okay, so let's start with Advantage. We are going to talk about the law that underlies Advantage. We're going to talk about what the law means, and then we're going to do a little quick video analysis. Again, this is not super in-depth. This is just kind of covering some basics, getting you thinking about the topic of Advantage. Good place to start is always with the laws of the game, right? What do the laws of the game say about Advantage? When you hear people talk about the Advantage clause, this is what they're talking about. The referee allows play to continue when an offense occurs, and the non-offending team will benefit from the advantage, and penalizes the offense if the anticipated advantage does not ensue at that time or within a few seconds. Okay, that's the advantage. That's the bare bones. So let's break it down into pieces. Okay, one of the things, well, the very first thing we need to know is that some offense has occurred, right? It does not have to be a foul. It doesn't have to be a Law 12 violation. There are other types of offenses that we can apply advantage to. One of those might be offside, for example. You often see that referees will wave an AR down if it is advantageous to the offended team to keep playing rather than to have the referee stop play and restart with an indirect free kick. So it doesn't necessarily have to be a foul. It usually is, but some sort of an offense occurred, right? And at that point, the referee has some work to do. They need to make a decision. Is the non-offending team better off by not whistling for the offense? And that seems like a straightforward question, but it can get kind of tricky in certain situations. Okay, how do we determine whether they're better off? Maybe they're really good at taking free kicks. Maybe they're really good at set pieces. If they're in their attacking third, as opposed to the middle third or their defensive third, does that change our thinking about whether they're better off? If they're in their defensive third, should we never allow for advantage because they have so much of the field to go? And how do we make those decisions? And those are the kinds of things that are going to be going through a referee's mind when you're thinking about whether to apply advantage or not. And another thing that comes into mind is the part of the law that says the referee needs to make this decision within a few seconds. And that's really fun, right? What does that even mean? How much is a few seconds? Is that 3, 5, 12? At what point do we get beyond a few seconds? The answer is I don't have a strict answer for you. A lot of it will come down to experience, but I would suggest for most of you, especially the grassroots referees who are getting started, think in the realm of 3 to 5 seconds, right? Give them that long to kind of play things out, see what happens. If an advantage is present, play on. And if an advantage is not present, blow your whistle, bring the ball back, and we will restart with the direct free kick or indirect free kick. Okay, but the key here, the phrase you're going to hear a lot, is wait and see. We don't want to be in a hurry as referees when we are thinking about whether to apply advantage or not. We want to wait and see what happens. Give those few seconds and let things play out just a little bit. Okay. As far as the signal for advantage, we've got one example up here on the screen. This is the referee giving the 2-arm version of the signal. This is the original signal for advantage. These days, we also allow a 1-arm version of that. And I do have a video a little bit later that shows a referee giving the 1-arm version of it. In addition to raising the arms like this, you should also yell out, play on, right? And I'm not going to scream that in here in my office while I'm sitting here, but you will note that good referees are very vocal about that because we want teams and coaches and spectators to understand that, yes, I saw the infraction, but I'm deliberately not calling the foul or whatever the offense may be, because it is to the advantage of the offended team that we keep going. We want everybody to know that. Okay? So the arm signal is one way that we communicate that, and the verbal side of yelling out play on is another way that we communicate that. Okay. And again, I realize I'm going quickly here, just kind of covering the basics, just kind of hitting some key points as we go through here. What we have coming up are some videos where we're going to see some kind of key points about different aspects of advantage. And if you wouldn't mind, if you are willing to help participate in some of these videos, just kind of say hi or in Zoom, I believe. Let's see, can you raise your hand in Zoom? I think you can. If you can raise your hand in Zoom, do that. But anyway, signal to us in some way that you are interested in participating, and I will call on one of you at some point, and we'll get you unmuted, and you can participate in some of the analysis of these videos. Don't worry if you have no idea what's going on. That's not a problem. We're all here to learn. Some of you have done a ton of video analysis. Some of you have never done it before and you don't even really know what advantage is. That's not a problem. Go ahead and raise your hand. Let us know you're interested, and we would love to have you participate. Okay, so these are some of the considerations we're going to look at when we think about. Oh, thank you, Eli. Or in chat, Eli just said raising your hand is in the reactions section. Mine looks different since I'm presenter, so I can't see exactly how that works. Anyway, when we're thinking about whether a situation is advantageous for the offended team, these are some of the considerations, some of the things we keep in mind, right? We think about where did the offense occur on the field. We think about not only the direction that the play was going before the offense, but the direction that the play or the ball goes after the offense. We look at the opportunity for an attack. Does the offended team have an opportunity to make some sort of an attack? What was the nature of the foul? If it was a serious foul play offense where a guy just gets absolutely mutilated, we might want to stop play. Whereas if it's just, it's a soft little thing, we'd be more likely to say, you know what, that one's okay. We can go ahead and let advantage play through. That doesn't mean you can't have advantage on a red card situation, just makes it much more likely. And it doesn't mean that you're automatically going to have advantage just because it's a fairly light foul, right? You call light fouls all the time, depending on what the game needs. But that's just one of the considerations here to consider. And finally, what's the match context? What do you need to do for game management? Right? Is it the kind of game where just to keep things under control, you need to be calling every single foul? Or is it the kind of game where, you know what, you played 25, 30 minutes, there haven't been any fouls, the players are all in a great mood? Maybe it's worthwhile to just go ahead and let the players play on. We'll go ahead and interpret advantage liberally in that case and let them play through some. Or maybe the clock is running out and a set piece would be advantageous, or maybe the clock is running out and a set piece actually would take more time than it's right. These are the kinds of things we consider as we evaluate what's advantageous for the offended team. Okay, we are going to start with video number 8. Those of you who want to watch the videos on your own machines, I will tell you which videos I'm pulling up next. So it is Advantage 8 is the video that I've got coming up here. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and play this through. Hopefully this isn't too choppy for those of you who are not streaming locally on your own computer. Okay, very simple little situation here. I'm going to back that up. We'll watch it one more time. This is just a very classic situation. Possible foul there, another little step in there. The team does not maintain possession. There's no reason to consider this advantageous for the offended team. Therefore, we're going to call the foul, right? Granted, on that replay, you see she did, and I will back it up one more time. We'll go here. She does maintain possession here, but yeah, you know what? Just not a big advantageous situation for the offended team. So let's go ahead and call the foul. No advantage in that situation, right? Just starting with a nice easy one, nice straightforward one, and we're going to work through a couple more things. I will do one more video on my own, and then I will have somebody hop in to participate. Okay. Next, we're going to do video Advantage 1. Okay. Here we go. Let's see what this one does. Okay. Let's see, the ball goes out toward the sideline, foul there, teammate gets the ball, but no advantage because the teammate is immediately fouled. I'm going to back that up again. Okay. Again, foul goes to a teammate, but the teammate's immediately fouled. Clearly no advantage in that situation. So these are a couple examples where advantage just isn't going to develop. There we go. Got my computer to cooperate. Advantage didn't develop. We call the fouls. There's no advantageous situation for either of those teams, right? And this next one, let's see who had their hand raised. Looks like maybe the hands go down automatically. Let's see. Ray Shirley, you were the last one to see.
Yeah, Ray's ready to go.
Ray is ready to go. Wonderful. Ray, you can go ahead and unmute yourself.
Yep, Jim.
Okay,
Liberty. Yep.
Okay, so next we're going to do advantage 6. I will play this for you, Ray. And what I want you to do, Ray, is just watch the video. And then after we watch it, I want you just to tell me what you saw. Okay, I don't need to get super complicated. Just tell me what you observed. Okay, that's the bulk of it there. Ray, would you like to watch that one more time, or are you good to talk about what you saw?
No, I think we'll save some seconds here. So red in the midfield trips yellow. Yellow goes down. The ball progresses out wide, and the attacker in yellow has options along the channel, finds their teammate, and the referee signals advantage with one arm.
Okay. And so based on your understanding, Ray, of the kind of considerations we go here, do you think this was a good decision by the referee?
Maybe as a form of flow, because it may be a choppy game at the moment. So this looks to be, enough space for yellow to pick their head up, take a couple touches, and they have 2 options looking to make runs. So in this case, it's not that risky, in my opinion. I think there's definitely advantage there.
Okay. Yeah, I agree with you there. We've got a runner here that eventually gets the ball. We've got this number 11 who's got a great run if she can get the ball. So yes, I agree. Now, we say that for this match, we're looking at this match. This looks like a higher level of play. Ray, what would you say if we had the exact same setup as right here on maybe a U12 match? Would you think about the situation differently?
Yeah, I would. Even at a fairly competitive match where you're looking to slow the game down, this foul happens in the middle third. So even if it's a younger team, given the match circumstances, it's a good location to blow the foul, get them reset. But at a lower level, there's not going to be as much skill for the player to, make an attacking phase, and they've got 70 yards to goal.
Okay, wonderful. Yep, that's exactly what we're looking for. Thank you very much, Ray. You can go ahead and mute yourself again. So folks, yeah, in terms of participation, Ray did a wonderful job. That's exactly what we're looking for. He told me what he saw. Then we just went through a couple little things. So yes, in this case, this was a great use of advantage. It gave the team the opportunity to make a run down the right side of the field. Nothing huge came from it, but it was a good analysis by the referee to see that running opportunity. She made the signal, and overall, this was a good decision.
Right, you have a couple of questions. You want me to give you those?
Are you referring to the raised hands, Jim?
Yes,
I think those are let me make the assumption that those are just folks wanting to participate. Folks, I will say in terms of asking questions or whatever, I'm probably not going to take a lot just so that we can stay on time. If you have like really burning questions, either ask it in the chat or contact me afterwards, and I'm happy to go through these videos much more slowly with anybody. But yeah, if you have a question, go ahead and type it in the chat, and that way either somebody else in the chat can help you out, or I might see it and be able to answer it that way. Or if it's something that I have completely forgotten to cover, then we can unmute you and we can have the conversation, make sure we get that topic covered. Okay, so next up, let's see. Oh, this is a good one. Jackson, how about we get Jackson in here to participate? Jackson, you want to unmute?
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay, here we go. So again, I will start the video. We'll just watch it. After the video is done, just tell me what you saw. You don't need super complicated analysis. Just, what do you see out there? Okay, Jackson, talk to me. What did you see there?
I think it lagged at me last minute. I don't know. Could you go back to the foul so I could see it again?
Sure. Yep. I will go just a couple seconds before the foul here, and I will start it.
So to me, it looks like White thinks he gets fouled at first, and I think he retaliates on the ground, trying to like pull him back and keep him from moving forward. But from the looks of it, it looks like Black does, in my opinion, get away and get a clear advantage. The foul's kind of occurring when the ball's away, so you can always come back to it. But I think the referee made a good decision of letting this one go for advantage.
Okay. Did you notice how the whole clip started?
I did not see that part.
Let's go. I'm going to jump right back there. You notice where we started this clip?
Gotcha. That might change my answer a little bit.
So, and you may recognize the referee in this case, since he just spoke to us a few seconds ago. This is Ray Shirley on a match. He alerted me to this clip just earlier today, actually. This was the start of the match.
Yeah.
I believe. I don't think it was second half. This was the start of the match. And so when we think about the match context for deciding whether a situation is advantageous for a team or not, this sort of thing gets really complicated. How do we know on the very first foul of the game whether it's worth taking the risk to apply advantage or to just go ahead and call the foul? That's not an easy decision for a referee to make. Jackson, what do you see? We'll put it right here. What do you see right here?
I see a runner on the back left, the White's right side, Black's attacking left side. So to me, if I was playing, I see that as an advantage because I have that kind of insight as a player. I would want the referee to let that go. So I think, in my opinion, that's where I kind of have a conflict. I think as a referee in that standpoint, I would let that go just because I see that runner. And I think there was a runner on the right side too for Black, a little farther down the clip. And like I said, the guy that is being fouled on the ground currently doesn't have the ball. So I think, and there's no White player around the ball to intercept it right away at this time. So I think there's a clear advantage here for Black.
Yeah, I mean, this was a great decision. The referee, if you look, let's see if I can pause it at just the right place. Yeah, if you look, the referee even goes to his mouth with his whistle, because I'm sure in his head he's thinking, okay, we're 10 seconds into the match and we're already, starting this stuff. I may as well call the foul. But then you can tell he does the great thing, right? Wait and see. He gives his eyes a chance to look around. He sees all this open space plus the guy making a run. This is a great advantage decision. And one of the best feelings in the world for a referee is making this kind of advantage call. And 5 seconds later, the ball's in the back of the net. Okay? So this was great. This is why we wait and see. This is why we don't jump to conclusions. We don't blow the whistle too fast. This was wonderful stuff. Thank you, Jackson. Let's see. I'm going to skip the next one. Let's skip that one. Let's go to. Nope. Let's go to. There. Let's go to advantage 5. We're going to look at this one. Let's see. I saw other hands up. It looks like the hands go down automatically after a while. So if you want to put your hand back up, I will pick on somebody. Anybody? Otherwise, oh, there we go. Nathan Jones, Mr. Jones. Okay, Mr. Jones, we are going to watch advantage 5. Tell me what you see here. Are you ready?
Let's go.
Okay, here we go. Okay, did you get that one or do you need to see it again?
Go to like
Right.
right in the middle of it again. Just click in the middle of the video.
Yep, here we go.
Okay.
Okay, so what do you see here?
Well, there's 2 decisions to be made here, and without comms, it's a little bit difficult. So in thinking of terms of the majority of the games we're doing, the referee has a foul here. The white player is charging, maybe contact with the left arm or kind of body through the back of the orange player as the orange player is playing the ball. But there potentially is an offside decision here for AR to make. So being able to quickly look at your AR and see if they have information and waiting and seeing is probably what I do in this situation, because the ball, it's kind of a trifling foul, and the ball's playing onto an attacker with a really good opportunity that appears to be taken away by the referee.
Yeah, you'll note at this point, she's blowing the whistle, and yet just a little bit later, let's see if I can find it. Oh, there she goes. Now, granted, this defender did give up. The nearest defender did give up, but the attacker had a pretty good run, right? Let's go back here one more time. How long does the referee wait before she blows that whistle?
2.5 seconds tops, I'm guessing.
Yes, let's go back here. Pretty much immediate, right? Foul, whistle. Oh, nuts. Okay. So when we were introducing the concept of advantage, we talked about how you need to make the decision of whether it's a foul or not, and then we talked about timing, wait and see. In this case, the referee didn't really wait and see, right? Now, we don't know what would have happened if she hadn't blown her whistle. We don't know if that defender might have got to the ball first or might have really challenged the attacker making the run. We don't know that for sure. But the fact of the matter is the referee doesn't know either and can never know, because she took her opportunity away from herself, right? She whatever chance she had to know if that run was going to happen, she lost because she blew the whistle way too quickly. So this is a great example on a level of match that almost all of us referee, where wait and see really would have been advantageous. If that attacker making the run doesn't get the ball, whatever, no problem. We call the whistle. If that attacker making the run had been in an offside position, we go ahead and call the foul, because obviously letting the player be called for offside would not be advantageous to the offended team. And so we would take the foul. In this case, the referee jumped on it a little too. So yeah, wait and see. You're going to hear me hammer on that all the time. Okay, Nate, you can go ahead and remute yourself. I'm trying to remember which one is this. No, we're gonna skip ahead. We're gonna go to advantage 9 here. Let's see, who's my next participant? Anybody want to raise a hand? And that's okay. There we go. I just saw where to go. Eli. Eli, you can unmute yourself there. You want to do a mic check real quick, Eli?
Yep, I'm here.
Okay, perfect. I'm going to let this play. Tell me what you see when it's done. Here we go.
Okay. Okay. So this is an advantage for 9, right? Orange versus white. Okay.
Yeah. So,
You can stop it whenever.
okay, we'll do it again here.
Okay.
I'll just stop it on the face. There we go. Okay, Eli, tell me what you saw.
So we have the white team. You have the orange team dribbling down in the corner. White team commits a foul. White's slow to get up, but orange is quick to get up. I think in this case, the AR kind of buries him a little bit because the AR goes up and signals, which causes the white player to stop. In my opinion, I think they should let this one play out because he has a lot of space in front of him. It'll be a 3-on-3 moving into a box with a potential shooter at the top. But like I said, in this case, they probably have comms. They could probably talk, but in my opinion, this AR should let this one play out a little bit more. Because white is down and basically out of the play by the time orange has recovered the ball. So I think in this case, a wait and see would have been the better choice because even though orange has been fouled, he's got a clear run to the box. Nobody directly in front of him to challenge him. So I think this one might be a better one to play out. But like I said, in my opinion, the AR, they probably talked it out. But if your AR goes up on this one, and it kind of buries you because now everybody stopped because they see the AR signaling, which
Yeah.
like I said,
No,
in this case,
that's good. In this, Eli, you highlighted on one of the lessons from this clip, which is that when we talk about wait and see, we're not just talking about the referee. We're talking about the assistant referees as well, right? So holding your flag is every bit as important as holding your whistle. There's nothing in this situation that requires any member of the officiating crew to be in a hurry, right? Nobody is hurt. There's no threat of retaliation. There aren't any considerations with that. You've got the attacking player hopping up. He's got all kinds of space. You highlighted, Eli, this player number 10 at the top of the penalty area, who's wide open for a shot right in the middle of the goal. And so this is a great opportunity to exercise wait and see. Would have liked to see a little more patience here. And I'm going to whip through this because I want to keep on schedule, Eli. We could keep breaking this down. But no, I appreciate your help there. I do want to show one more.
Brent, one question for you on that
Yep.
last clip. If that is a cautionable offense and you play the advantage, what are your options after you play through that? Can you touch on that briefly?
Yes, thank you, Jim. So the question for everybody, well, I guess you heard, I'm used to having to repeat questions that are half in person, half on Zoom here. But yeah, so what if it was a reckless tackle, right? And what if we decide that the tackle needed to be yellow card? You've got two options. You can, if it's so important to you that you take care of that yellow card right there, that can be a consideration where you say, you know what, we need to take care of this. I'm not going to apply advantage. I'm just going to call the foul. That is an option. Nothing in this one clip suggests to me that the referee had to get that caution right then, which he does in that clip. So I would say he didn't need to stop play there, but there may have been something else earlier in the match that suggested to that referee that he needed to stop right then. Alternatively, if it is a reckless tackle and for whatever reason, the ball bounces to somebody who's wide open and it is advantageous to the attacking team that we not stop for the foul, then you allow advantage to play out, you signal, you holler out play on. You as the referee need to keep track of who it was who committed that reckless foul, right? You need to keep track, find their number, say their number out loud, say number 16, I'm coming back for you, whatever. Or talk to your AR and say, you know, hey, AR Bob, I'm coming back for number 16. And what does it mean to come back for them? That means that at the next stoppage of play, whenever that is, whether it's 2 seconds later or 2 minutes later, you go find number 16, you find the player who committed the reckless foul, and you show them the yellow, right? That misconduct doesn't vanish just because you allowed advantage to go on. There are some hiccups and hurdles to that I don't want to get into tonight. Check those out in Law 12, but that's the basics. If you have a reckless foul, that's a yellow card, whether you give it right that moment or you wait for advantage and then come back at the next stage. Jim, does that answer the question that you were thinking about?
Perfect. Thank you.
Cool. Thanks. Okay, this one I'm gonna walk through here just real quick. This is a great example of wait and see. Let's see what happens. Okay. We've got a foul. His teammate gets the ball. Yeah, but it's 1-on-3. He's not going anywhere. We pull it back. Right? Let's watch that one more time. I'm gonna back it up here. Okay. We've got a foul. Referee sees it. Referee gives this guy a chance. Yeah, no, not going anywhere. Not advantageous to the attacking team. The referee took that 3-4 seconds, right? Decided play wasn't going anywhere. Has the foul. Okay, so that's a great example of wait and see. And I'm not going to dwell too much on this, just so we can keep moving. The last video I want to show you is also a quickie. I just want to show you how the referees signal. Okay, a lot of times we've seen the 2-arm signal. This referee, who you may recognize, it's Ishmael Elfaf, who has been at the World Cup. He's doing the 1-arm signal here. Now, the one thing I will say while you watch this is he doesn't need to do the 1-arm signal all the way across the field. Okay? You only need to do that for a couple steps and then put your arm down and use your normal running motion, especially as you're trying to chase play down the field. But I just wanted to show the basic idea of the 1-arm signal. Okay? That's the only reason I had that video. Okay, so that was advantage. And again, it was a whirlwind trip through advantage. I apologize for that, but we're just kind of giving folks an introduction here, right? Next, I want to talk about free kick management. And again, this is going to be fairly quick. It's going to focus primarily on quick free kicks versus ceremonial free kicks. But we'll kind of cover some basics and hopefully we give you some helpful information. You will note that managing free kicks is easy, right? You only have to call the foul, deal with the conduct, place the ball, know when to intervene, manage the send, do all of that. So simple, right? There's only like 76 things you need to think about when you're managing a free kick. Totally easy stuff. You hopefully are aware that there are 2 kinds of free kicks that we think about. Right? We think about quick free kicks or ceremonial free kicks. Those are the 2 classifications that we give when we're talking about free kicks. Right? And by that, we mean that a quick free kick means there's no or minimal intervention by the referee. The referee calls the foul and doesn't really do much extra, doesn't have to show a card, doesn't have to wait a long time for an injury, doesn't have to babysit the spot of the foul or set a wall, anything like that. It's just you call a foul, the players know roughly where it is on the field, they restart, we carry on with their game. Easy enough, right? A ceremonial free kick is different. That's when the referee needs to intervene in some way. Okay? We have to have a ceremonial free kick when we have a substitution or misconduct, yellow card, red card, or a serious injury, the kind of injury where we really have to stop and check the player out, maybe even bring on medical team, coach, whoever. All of those require a ceremonial free kick. In other situations, maybe the referee needs to set the wall, maybe the referee's dealing with dissent because players don't like the foul. Maybe the referee just wants to slow the game down a little bit, get everybody's head screwed straight on, or get everybody's head screwed on straight, right? Maybe they're getting a little fired up, maybe they're tired, whatever. So the referee purposely says, hey, hang on, wait for me. Whenever a referee intervenes like that, whether intentionally or accidentally, it becomes a ceremonial free kick. And a ceremonial free kick, the big thing that makes it different from a quick free kick is that a whistle is required for the restart. Okay, so if you have a free kick and then there's a substitution, you must signal with a whistle before play can be restarted. If you have a serious injury that will hold things up for in a free kick, you must blow your whistle before the free kick can happen. Okay? That's the main difference between a quick free kick and a ceremonial free kick. Most free kicks, preferably, are quick free kicks. Most of the time, we don't really need to do any extra intervention other than, hey, the spot of the kick is going to be right over there, okay? Or something like that. Or if defenders are a little too close to the spot of the kick, hey, defender, get back, give them 10 yards. Come on, back up. That kind of a thing. That's just very light intervention. You're not holding anything up. We're just carrying on with the game, right? That's what we want. In general, quick free kicks are advantageous to the kicking team. Good teams, you will see, like quick free kicks. They don't want the referee to get any more involved in it. That doesn't mean they're going to take the kick instantly, right? A quick free kick doesn't necessarily mean that the referee blows the whistle, the team puts the ball down, they kick the ball, and we restart all within the span of a couple seconds. Okay, all a quick free kick means is that the referee hasn't really involved himself in it. Okay, and again, on quick free kicks, generally speaking, the referee needs to get out of it, needs to not imply to either team that they are intervening, that they're slowing things down and requiring a whistle to restart. Which video is this? Okay, so this is just a simple foul. For some reason, the video is not lined up, but that's okay. Okay, so this is just a simple, straightforward foul. Okay, little push, referee blows the whistle. Okay, everybody's carrying on. It's in the team's defensive third. The opposing team isn't getting in the way. He ever so helpfully gives the ball to the goalkeeper here. Goalkeeper sets the ball down. The referee's not nearby. Nobody else is nearby. There's no reason to do anything extra. Goalkeeper puts the ball into play. Okay, that's a quick free kick. It didn't happen instantly. That's not what we mean by quick. Just that the foul, no extra intervention. Okay, easy enough, straightforward, right? Let's see. Here's another example, another very basic one. Okay, there was a foul, referee blows the whistle, gets into position for the next situation. Another reason the referee doesn't necessarily need to be extra involved here is because look who's right down here. We've got an AR right nearby. AR can help set the ball. AR can help deal with any shenanigans by the opposing team. Okay, ball's put back into play. Easy, simple, no extra intervention. Right, that's what we would like. Let's see. Okay, so the next video we've got is number 7. I'm trying to remember which video this is. Ah, yes. Okay. So give me a volunteer. Who would like to chat for me tonight? Go ahead and raise your hand or put a comment in the chat. Anybody?
I think Luke Allen looks like, oh, Jackson again.
Jackson, okay, so if nobody else chimes in, we'll go back to Jackson. And Luke, are you willing? Jim called you out.
Yeah, I mean, I can.
Okay, perfect. That's the sort of enthusiasm we're after. Thank you, Luke. Okay, here we go. We're gonna play this video for you. Okay, Luke, oh, I guess we're getting a replay. Okay, so we had the foul, sets the ball, restarts. Okay, so what do we see there, Luke?
I mean, there's a foul at midfield. Ref called it pretty quickly because it didn't look like there's a whole bunch there. Is it 10 in yellow? Looks like he tries to set it. For me, that ball is actually probably not stopped.
Yeah,
but
I was hoping you wouldn't notice that. Let's assume the ball is properly stopped for the
Yeah,
purposes
I
of
mean,
this conversation.
assuming he stops that ball well, I mean, that's a great use of letting that free kick happen quickly to kind of give back an advantage that was taken away by that foul. Even though there's not a ton going down that right side, he's got his head up and he's looking towards the other end of the field where that left winger is, you know, charging up the field and eventually gets a one-on-one with the keeper and scores it. So, I mean, aside from the rolling ball, really well done from my perspective.
Okay, yeah. So I mean, this is an example of a good free kick situation. Look, as a referee, if you're looking at this, why might you initially think that maybe you're going to have to intervene? Maybe you're going to have to do a ceremonial free kick.
So the player that's fouled is on the ground, like as the kick's being taken, and it looks like the camera cuts to somebody kind of squaring up with each other.
Right.
As well as the 5 in blue being right on top of the ball as well. So like it kind of cuts off that right wing, but there's no attacker there. So like even if he wanted to go there, that doesn't really make sense at this point. But say that farthest forward yellow player is more towards the touch line, then that number 5 in blue is cutting off that angle for that option of the free kick. Can kind of maybe start yelling at him before even making it ceremonial and just saying, hey, get out of there, you know, get him to back up, give him the yardage before having to stop play completely for it.
Yeah, good stuff. Appreciate that, Luke. Thank you. Yeah, so this turned out to be great. This was a quick free kick that went very well. Luke highlighted kind of some of the considerations that should be going through the referee's head of whether the referee should intervene and make this ceremonial. You've got the 2 players who kind of go face to face, which I can jump to it. Camera shows that. The guy who got fouled and the other guy. But that quickly breaks up when they realize that play is restarted. And the defender who was closer than 10 yards, he had no impact whatsoever on the free kick, right? So this is great. This is a perfectly quick free kick opportunity by the referee, didn't involve himself. That's what we want to see. That's what we want teams to do. We don't want them sitting around wasting time, right? In a lot of these situations, we want them just play. We want the ball in play. So good stuff. Okay, now here's an example that shows minimal intervention, right? Not no intervention like in the previous example. This is minimal intervention. Just somebody want to hop in on this one? Or we can go with Jackson if he's still the only one, but hopefully somebody else hops in there. Maybe Chuck Swanson, possibly. Anybody else?
Yeah,
There's
yeah, I
Chuck.
can jump in.
Oh, perfect. Okay, Chuck. So this is an example of minimal intervention that I've got there. Now I'm going to play this and tell me what you see. Okay.
Yeah,
What'd you
can
see
you?
there, Chuck?
Well, can you roll it back? It got really herky jerky for me.
Did it? Okay.
Yeah, like the foul, and then obviously
Okay,
the
so
ball
here's
gets
the
kicked
foul.
away. Yep.
We've got this.
Yeah. So
And the ball got kicked away, so we're waiting for that. And it will show a replay here of what happened while they had cut away.
So obviously the ball got kicked away. They respotted the ball. The referee's telling him to move away and he plays it quick, depending on the situation. Me personally, the level of games that I do, I probably would have called it back, just because I feel like I would have been, it would have been a disadvantage to the defending team as I'm barking at the player at the defending team to get out of the way. I feel like I would take some advantage or add some advantage to the attacking team at that point, because players could stop to see what I'm trying to say. They obviously take the quick free kick, and play it very well up the right side, and the attacker gets a good shot on goal, and obviously it goes in the net.
Okay, yeah, so as we think about this, this one starts to get a little gray, but I'm going to suggest to you that this was very well managed for this level of play and for this type of situation. If you watch, and again, it depends a little bit on how choppy the video is for you folks. If you watch on the original, you'll be able to see this better. But you'll see, we've got the video. Initially, the referee stays far away, right? He doesn't get close to the spot of the foul. He's trying to stay out of the situation. Then we go forward a little bit. Okay. He does get near. As soon as the ball comes near, what does he do? Look at that. He's backing out. He's talking to that guy, saying, "Go away, go away, go away." What's probably happening there is that the defender is probably saying he has to ask for 10, he has to ask for 10, and watch the referee's body language. He's saying, no, he doesn't have to ask for 10, just get back. Right? Which is a valid thing to do, because why would the defender want the referee to step off 10? Why might the defender want that? Can you think of situations where the defender would want that, Chuck?
Yeah, I mean, obviously it gives his goalkeeper time to get his wall set, right? It gives his defenders time to get themselves set, figure out who they're going to mark. And it obviously for the defending team, it's to me, it's a little more beneficial because obviously more goals are scored off a set play. So it just allows you to get organized.
And there's another factor. If you look in the upper
yeah.
left-hand corner, what minute are we in?
Yeah, the end of extra.
Yeah, we're in the 120th minute, right? This is the very end of the second period of extra time. Okay, so the white team, which is in the lead 2-1, just wants to waste time, and the referee does not want them to waste time. So that's one of the considerations for the referee. The longer the referee takes to set up this free kick, the less time the yellow team may have to do something after the free kick is taken. So the referee is trying very hard not to intervene here to keep things flowing. And that is one of the considerations that we have to think about in this kind of a situation. Like you said, Chuck, we have to be careful here about how close we are to the ball, how much intervention we're doing with the attacking team. But in this case, I'm going to tell you that the referee was completely fair to the defender. He gave him plenty of opportunity to get out of there. And the attacking team, which remember is the team that was fouled, they were the team that was offended. They took advantage of the situation and very smartly, and they benefited from it. So congratulations to them. I want to show an example where we cross the line from minimal intervention to too much intervention, but still allowing a quick free kick. Okay, and this one I'm just going to run through on my own. Okay. What you're going to see is this player is going to go down here. The attacker is going to be fouled. The referee calls the foul, starts to pull the yellow card out of his pocket. He signals to the player to wait. And then he allows the free kick to continue anyway. That we cannot allow. Okay, watch it again. Foul. Referee blows a whistle. He stands right on top of the spot. He says, wait. He has the card out. Okay. He's communicating something very different from what he's allowing. He's communicating, I'm intervening, I'm standing on the spot, I'm holding out my arm, telling the player to wait, I'm pulling out the card indicating that we're going to have a ceremonial free kick. And then he lets the quick free kick go in. That's not fair to the defending team. That is too much. Had he stayed out of there, had he kept his distance, had he kept the card in the pocket, had he not signaled with that right hand for the team to hold up, maybe he could have allowed that quick free kick. But as it was, because he intervened, because he stepped in there, he has to do the ceremonial free kick, right? No choice at that point. Okay, we're gonna jump ahead a bit. We don't need that one. Sorry, I realized we're already running tight on time, so I'm gonna skip a couple that weren't that good of videos anyway. Aha, yes, I like this one. Okay, and I'm just going to talk through this one. What we have here, we have the team attacking to the right. Get the ball in. But I want you to watch it. She calls the foul. She points to the spot. At this point, she clearly is committed to a ceremonial restart. Okay, she's on top of the spot. The players know it. The players want it to be ceremonial. They want the whistle. She's dealing with possible dissent now, which is another reason to hold up play. Okay, but she's managing it very well. Nobody's getting too fired up. Okay, so she's going to get the ball set. One thing I will note here, she does use the vanishing spray. We are not authorized to use vanishing spray on US soccer youth matches, so please don't do that. Don't spend your money on it. Okay, so now she's going to make sure the ball is set. Got that location right. And I'm going to jump ahead here. It shows her, now she's setting the wall. Okay. She gets, jump ahead here a little more. She's communicating with everybody. She's got everybody set. She waits till everybody's set. She gets herself set in whatever position she wants. She blows the whistle. And we take our free. Okay, so that was very well done, right? She intervened. The location on the field was a critical location, right in the middle of the field at the top of the penalty area, 18 yards and 3 inches away from the goal. She knows there's going to be conflict. And so right away, she gets to the spot of the foul. She slows things down. That's a great use of a ceremonial free kick. Let's jump ahead to free kick number 6. Okay. Let's see. One last volunteer. Who wants to be our last one? There we go. Jackson again. Okay, Jackson. Go ahead and unmute yourself. I want you to watch this. Tell me what you see. Okay. Here we're starting, the foul's already been played. Now we're just on the management portion. Okay, and then we'll take her kick here, and we don't need anything else. Okay, she blows the whistle. That's all we really need. So Jackson, what have you seen?
I saw her. It's a ceremonial free kick. Clearly, she is, in my opinion, doing too much talking. I think she set the wall, and I think she needs to get out of there. She kind of just gets into a little bit of a back and forth with red players, in my opinion. Of course, we don't know what she's saying, but from the looks of it, it just looks like they're bickering, and I think she just needs to get out of there and let play restart.
Okay. Anything else you notice?
I don't know. Maybe if I
I
see
don't
it
know.
again.
That's okay if you don't.
Okay.
I'm not trying to force you into anything.
I don't. Did she blow the whistle? I couldn't see.
She's just blowing the whistle right now. I stopped with it.
Perfect. Okay. I think that's all I saw from the video.
Okay. So I see a little bit differently, and the reason, as far as the communication goes, I think she's not communicating with the players about dissent. If you watch her body movement, see what she's doing with her arms. Sorry.
She's telling them not to grab each other, I think, is what it looks like, maybe.
Sorry, we got a barking dog in the background. Anyway, if you watch her arms, I think what she is talking to the players about is, so at first she's talking to the wall, right? And I think she's talking to the players about keeping their arms up. That's something that I've seen referees start to do more, is make sure that players in the wall are not putting their arms up or out. It's just a helpful reminder. I don't think it's mandatory that you remind players not to handle the ball on a free kick. That's something they should know. But it's not a bad bit of proactive refereeing, especially at the younger age, right? Kids are maybe U12, U13, they're just learning how to set a wall. That might be a helpful reminder to them. This next part right here, what she's talking to the attacking players about is a reminder that they have to stay at least 1 yard away from the wall. Does everybody remember that the law changed, a year or two ago, that now attackers cannot be in the wall? They have to be at least 1 yard away from the wall. And so that's what she's communicating with them about, is that they cannot come participate in the wall. Jackson, do you happen to recall off the top of your head, if those attackers do step into the wall, they get closer than 1 yard? Do you recall what the consequence is for that?
I do not. You got me there.
Quite all right, because it's not something you're going to see very often, and it is a new part of the laws. The consequence is indirect free kick for the defending team coming out. Again, this bit of proactive refereeing that the referee is doing is designed to help prevent that, right? She doesn't want a handball in the wall. She doesn't want encroachment by the attacking team getting too close to the wall. She's doing a good job there. You are right that it is a lot of talking. At this level of play, player management is kind of a big deal. So there may be more talking in these situations than we're used to. But yeah, that's what she's communicating.
Especially if the players don't know that kind of 1 yard rule, especially because if you say it's new, they
it
might
is
not
new,
know
and
that.
especially at the time that this video was taken, it was probably extremely new.
So in that situation, if you know there's a brand new law, do you, if it happens, I mean, you got to go with it, right? I mean, you can't, or is that a
Right.
kind of
Yeah.
discretion?
So if they were to be closer than a yard, I mean, you still have to follow the laws of the game, right? The laws say that that's an indirect free kick. There's no do-overs or anything like that. But as a proactive referee, if you can help prevent that, great. If you have some other way to work through it, let's say you set them a yard away, and then before the ball is kicked, they step in close because they get excited. You know, if we're talking about 13, 14-year-old kids, it might not be a bad idea to, tweet, blow your whistle and say, okay, hang on, guys. I need to remind you, law just changed. You have to stay away. Oh yeah. They're going to thank you for telling them or whatever. So if we can manage that, if we can be proactive, that's preferable rather than punishing people for, law violations that they've never even heard of. But ultimately, if they break the rules, they break the rules, right? And we do need to enforce that. So, good stuff. Okay. So I realize I went a little bit long. It is now 8:11 p.m. I want to thank everybody for participating. Again, this was just a real quick walkthrough. Hopefully you give yourself a chance to look over those videos, maybe on your own time. and, see what you see. If you have any questions, give me a holler, email me, text me, call me, whatever you like. Reminder that future sessions of the Winter Development Series are coming up on the 19th and 16th. And I really want to hammer the NRDP referee seminar. We had unbelievable turnout last year, and I would love to top that this year. That will be at Creighton again on January 27th and 28th. Another reminder to check out that survey, which, where did I put the link? Anyway, the link is up higher in the chat, somewhere up there. There it is. I'll put it up here again.
I'll put that out
so
in
that you
a,
can do that.
I'll put that out as well, Brent, either Twitter or someplace. So we'll push that
Well,
out.
he doesn't want it out on Twitter. He wants a slightly more select group of referees.
Oh,
at
okay,
this
great.
point.
Thank you for letting me know that.
Yeah, sorry. So it's not that it's a big secret. It's just he's kind of doing little chunks of referees at a time, so he can kind of keep track of the data as it rolls in. Yeah, so if you could do that survey, that would be wonderful. And again, if you have any topic suggestions, questions, comments, give me a holler. Jim, do you have anything you'd like to wrap up with?
Super quick. I did put the FIFA considerations on the website and put a link in the chat to that. What we have discovered, Brent and I, and Brent probably already knew this, is the FIFA considerations can be a really, really great help. They speak both to advantage and free kick management. I'll also push that out, either put it on the website or make it that generally available so you don't have to search for the link otherwise. But we'll get that out for you. But if you don't have that, that's easily found all sorts of places on the internet. Make sure you pull those FIFA considerations down, and they really, really give you a great handle. It kind of summarizes a lot of the stuff that Brent did a great job going over. So I'd keep pushing people to look at that document. So
Awesome. Thanks, Jim.
no problem.
Okay, folks, we are going to wrap up. Again, those videos are going, well, the link is going to die tomorrow. So if you want to watch them, get your watching in soon. And again, if you want to review that with me separately, or you have other questions, or you have some reason why you might want access to some of the clips, just contact me, let me know. I'll let you know what I can and cannot do with those different videos. So anyway, everybody have a great night. Thank you so much for attending, and we'll see you next time.